Red Rhino Nation, here we are with week number 2 for us, 3 for everybody else, you know, since we had that bye week at the beginning. This week was another tough matchup against Pakistani clan, and we're going to go ahead and recap it, but let me go ahead and first introduce, I've got a couple of my buddies with me. Chief.
Hey, Drummy.
Hey, and Stef.
Why, hello.
Hello. So Chief is, he runs a couple 11s, and Stef is 10, 11, 12. In this war, I think you were a 10. And so we're going to go ahead and chat about some of the attacks and see what happened. This one, we were underdogs big time. You know, last week we got perfect ward against, basically. And Pakistani clan, I believe last week for them, whatever war they were in, they did a perfect war. So we knew it was going to be a tough one. So let's go ahead and click over. This was a close one. 89 to 89. It was looking pretty tough when they woke up, and basically all through the night for us, they were just attacking nonstop, fresh hitting left and right, all of our 11s. I had a couple tears, I'm not gonna lie.
They were outstanding. That was a great clan. Well, they were great attackers, and they were easy to set up the war with. So it was just they were a great clan.
Absolutely. And Steph, what did you think about these guys? I mean, I know you know a lot about a lot of the other clans. What did you think when you saw this one on the schedule?
I knew that there was going to be a really tough war for us.
Yeah.
Because they're a very good clan.
Yep.
And they're, like I said, they're in different leagues too. They're also in MLCW, and they're doing really well there as well. So props to them there too. Yeah,
exactly. So we knew we had, our work cut out for us for sure. Let's go ahead and check out the six packers and what happened. And we, it was the last 20 minutes. Why don't you guys go ahead and kind of give a recap as I just kind of scroll down through here and look as far as like what happened on the last 20 minutes, just kind of a high level.
I think it was basically the last 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Right. So it started with like the last 33 minutes. Prof hit a dip on 4. And we had to dip a couple 11s, and because we got just enough to keep us within reach if everything went perfect. And so we dipped 2 11s, and Prof cleared the last 11 with 33 minutes left. But then 15 minutes right after that, DaTinggoesSKRRA came in and hit another dip. So we're done with dips. Now it's 7 minutes to go. That's it. 7 minutes to go, and every hit basically it counts. Prof got an 81 on 1, which technically in the end that won the war. Prof's hit with 7 minutes left put us over the percentage because they got a 70 something. I think it's 78. And then, but 2 minutes after that, Bump came in and 3-starred number 3. So that was a 12v12. And then the team comes in 3 minutes after that with 2 minutes to go and hits a 3 on base 2 on a 12v12. But then with 1 minute to go, this is how it's going. With 1 minute to go, they came back and 3'd our number 3, 12v12.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh my gosh, now it's going to come down to percentage. And I was on voice with Will and
doing some calculating.
Attacks, right, and then things get upside down, and who just 3'd, and people are watching different attacks, and you're not sure exactly what's going on. And
yeah, I mean, it was just 99.43 to 99.27. That is tough.
Yeah, so it came down to we got an 83. We got an 83 12v12, and they got a 73 12v12.
Right. So that was it. Game over. War victory.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, we got to hand it to them. Oh, yeah. And we got to hand it to them. They cleared our 11s, so, and we really had to, I think our last 5 or 6 11 hits, we went 4 for 6.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went 4 for 6 in order to give us a chance. And as soon as you got that last one, I was, we were all on voice, and I was like, well, that gives us a chance because we only need 2 dips, and at least we get some swings at the 12. So, I'm super proud of us for hanging in and really gutting it out. But let's go ahead and just give a shout out to all the 6-packers. Looks like on Town Hall 10, we had Will, Sticky Finger, and Esperanza. And then for 11, Chief, hey, buddy. And then RC, who is aka Discord, as Manos. So good job to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and try to zip through as fast as we can here. We're already 5 minutes in, so we got to cruise this.
All right.
Let's go down to watching one of Deep's, who is Esperanza, one of his hits. It was a drag quake, and I'm thinking it was this first one on number 14. So let's go ahead and look at that one on 3, 2, 1. If it's not 14, then we'll back out and we'll go to the real one. But
Okay.
we're going to try 14. On 3, 2, 1. And it looks like it is. Okay, so I wanted to show this one. First of all, Dragon's got a buff. And he took advantage of the close ADs here and said, hey, we've been all doing this double, this quad, basically, zap. But I've got these 2 ADs close together, so I'm going to get a bonus spell here out of this deal. So I like that he did that, There are a lot of bases, and it is hard, in my opinion, to defend against dragons right now at Town Hall 10. It is a tough attack to defend against because there's so many different ways that you could do it. And they're just, with that buff, it makes it even harder. So he comes in with the zaps and the quake to get that, and he's funneling with his king and queen, of course. His queen is still up even after he puts the dragons in, and I'm going to go ahead and 2-time it just so that we can make sure to get through all this. But then he kind of delays, puts that rage down to get the queen down, delays the slammer a little bit, and I'm loving how he put the hound over to the side, because he puts his hound in too much earlier, it's going to just go across the base and get hammered. So you might as well go ahead and wait just a little bit to, allow your troops to get in. And it was looking a little bit close here. But he had, 3 dragons over at the side, and the slammer is at half health. So if that happens, it's over. Because the slammer, all you have to do is, open up the slammer and let the loons come out if it's, close and you need some cleanup troops. So no problem there. Game over. 3 stars. So good job. And overall, our 10s did pretty well. We're just going to look at one Town Hall 10. But we had to have a couple dips. We struggled on a couple of the bases. So, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and move on up. And we're going to look at a couple of our fresh hits. And see, this is bad because I didn't write down the numbers. So we might be kind of skipping all over the place. But let's go ahead and look at Jodes first on number 9. On 3, 2, 1. She is a dragbat queen, for sure. She's been just wrecking bases with this, and again with the buff with the drags, this makes it even more difficult. So, she comes in here with her king and queen, and she actually drew up a plan on this one. To kind of have her king and queen over to the side, because again with the bats you want to make sure to get out the splash, so she's wanting to at least get that whiz tower over on the side before she brings her drags in. And for her comp, she usually uses the 2 E-drags to kind of clear each side, and then hoping that they'll survive long enough to come into the center and kind of go with the rest of the dragons, and that's exactly what she does here. Have you guys been watching her? Yeah, go ahead, Stef.
Yeah, no. So what I liked about this was actually, if you look closely, the E-drag bounces are what really got this the triple, I'd say, because the E-drag at 9 o'clock got that internal AD by the IT.
Yep.
And then the E-drag at 12 got that other AD by that Expo and Wizard Tower.
Yeah, it did.
So they were just bouncing mad. I was like, oh my, me and Will were watching this live. We were just like, oh my lord, these bounces.
Yeah, and you don't think of that, that even though the defenses and the buildings weren't that close at the beginning, the way that it chained worked out great. And then perfect over there with the bat wave coming in from the side, while the Wizard Tower was kind of distracted. And I mean, her her slammer is still up. She's got a cajillion bats and dragons. It was just complete overkill on this base. Just absolutely smashed it.
And we said after, you probably could have just flagged those bats.
Yeah, I know. She didn't even need the bats the way that thing was going. It was just unbelievable. So great job, and that was a fresh hit, and we love that. She's been hitting fresh for us, just to kind of open everything up. So good job to you. So let's go ahead and go to another hitter here. Let's check out Blue, aka Nam. So we're gonna jump up this time to number 7. I think this was her fresh hit that she planned. You know, she's another Aussie. However, she is leader of Blue Bearcats and then in with us for CWL. So she kind of planned some of this before some of us went to bed. You know, went over it and then hit it once I went to sleep. Stef, were you on when she hit this one?
Yes, I was,
Yeah. So, I mean, she's very, very good at this attack and figuring out what base is going to work for her. And I like doing that with our attackers right now, is knowing who attacks well with what and let them pick the base that they think is going to work for their attack.
Right.
And she's good with this one. So she had that E-drag starting off over there. And then here she comes in with the P.E.K.K.A.s and the Wrecker. Again, I'm going to go to 2 times just to kind of keep this moving. And, you know, she's got a pretty good funnel. She just had that Dark Elixir and the Mortar. And then once that's down, everything else goes in. So she gets everything to go in, which is big. That is very helpful. And, you know, she's just going to wait until those multis are almost down, at least one of them, and then she freezes from the backside, and here comes the wave. She just nice timing on her freeze. That can get dicey with that multi, and the Whiz Towers too. I mean, the Whiz Towers, I think especially, it just melts the bats because they kind of clump all together and just whoosh, gone. So if you don't have good timing with that, it's over. So nice job, Nam. What did you guys think, Chief?
I think that Wrecker made it through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walls.
It did. It went a lot farther than I was expecting, for sure.
It was awesome. It tanked a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just because all of her troops went right in. You have all of the troops. It's gonna make it in. So great job to you. Let's go ahead and check out Manos or Red Chief. And this was his first cleanup, and this was one that I believe Nibs hit first with this same attack. On number 10, and somebody was like, okay, we need to have Manos go ahead and clean this up because he's, you know, a great Lalo guy. So let's go ahead and look at this on number 10 on 3, 2, 1. So here we go. Look at this, a little quad quake action. Nice. I like it so far. So I think what happened on the first one was the queen unexpectedly decided, oh, you quaked this area, nice, but I'm gonna go around. So didn't even go in. I mean, I felt so bad for him because I really liked his plan. But to kind of make up for it, because the queen basically went around 12, down 1, 2, 3, you know, around that side, he decided, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put my king over here. And the king's gonna take care of all this stuff. You can see he rages it early just to make sure he gets those buildings down. So that the queen doesn't get tempted. That Tesla kind of pulls her back in. So now it's looking good right now. You know, he's going to have to deal with this Lalo CC. Comes out. And, you know, I get a little bit scared right in here after she takes down the CC, only because the multi was hitting at those healers. And I wasn't sure, you know, you just never know. Is the queen going to go ahead and hit the IT or not? And luckily she did. So, you know, now it's just a matter of, okay, he's a cool customer. He knows what he's doing on these queen charges. So he's just going to kind of wait a little bit. You know, about 1:30 or so left. You want to try to start your Lalo. And so it was getting close to that time, right around in here. But he really wanted that eagle to go down. And I think once he got the queen down and then he knew that his queen was kind of going down over to eagle, he thought, all right, I'm going to go ahead and start my Lalo. So that's going to happen here in a second. I'll just 2 times it. So she takes down the CC, takes down the eagle, and then here comes his troops. And, you know, still spreading out the hounds. You've got essentially 3 hounds because you have the slammer. Nice job on his warden. And you see he has his warden ability. So this was one that he's thinking, okay, I'm going to save my warden ability because it's going to get dicey back here with the Whiz Tower and the multi. And he ends up saving it, and some of his loons kind of go out of the range of the warden, but it still worked out, I think. I mean, he pretty much crushed this at the end. Did a great job.
Solid hit.
Yeah, and this was one of those toward the end of the war that we really needed, right? So,
desperately needed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a pressure hit.
Oh, yeah.
Great job to you. And again, he was a 6-packer, so well done. Let's go ahead and find your attack, Chief. And the one that I wanted to show was the one that you came up with the plan on, because we talked it over for a while. That was number 11, I believe.
Yep.
And so this is a P.E.K.K.A. Smash. Let's go ahead and check out number 11 on 3, 2, 1. And I'll let you talk to it since you came up with the plan.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was unaware that the obstacle glitch is still in effect.
I was too, so I'm with you.
Right?
Yeah.
So I thought I could bring my queen up and get that IT. Well, obviously I'm wrong. But nonetheless, we just
now we know
during the attack. Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's just a funnel with the queen walk on the south side, and I'm going to funnel with the king up top, up around 9 o'clock. And it's just a small kiwi, so a couple whiz and the king. But I thought if I quad quake this compartment where the expo is shooting my queen right now, I can get all the way up to that eagle, and then they're going to funnel back down, and then I'm just going to bring a slammer from 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
so that was the general plan.
Yeah, and I like the idea.
Base, right?
It is. It's an odd base, and we were talking about, normally with the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, you usually use 2 jumps anyway. So it's a same spell space, but because of this kind of weird shape, let's go ahead and take advantage of the quakes instead. We knew that it was a Lalo CC, because this had been hit one time before with a P.E.K.K.A. Smash or a P.E.K.K.A. Bobat, I think, on the other side.
Right.
But it worked out good for you.
Well, the key to it was just hit the timing right with the warden to keep my queen and healers up long enough to get back around to that inferno.
Right.
Otherwise, I would have had a queen with no healers, and it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, because your healers kept your P.E.K.K.A.s up at the same time, and then on that top side.
Yep.
Yeah, and on the top side, we knew that the slammer should be able to take out that entire compartment.
Right.
You were trying to get your freeze just right, and it still worked out fine because the slammer and the loons. Yeah, but the slam on the loons still took out a ton. So we'll go ahead and fast forward through the end of this. It got a little bit close at the end.
It got very close, right?
Yeah.
So the plan was get the slammer in after the sweeper gets knocked down. So that went according to the plan.
Yep.
So it was just closer than I wanted it to be, because I thought that that darn Inferno Tower was going to be down much earlier.
Right. But it worked out. Yeah. So it was an exciting one for sure, because that was again one that we needed. So let's go ahead and check out the 12s, which ended up winning it for us. So good job to you guys. All the 12s. You guys normally only have a couple hours to get your attacks in. I mean, you have some time to maybe come up with a plan, but and it's very early for these guys. From Ham. So let's start with Bumps, since it looks like he attacked just prior to DaTing. So Bumps was on number 3, so let's check his out in 3, 2, 1. And here he comes. Now I actually went over to Ham and used my 12. They are in, I think, Champs 1. So the last SCCWL, I was with them. So I got to see these guys attack, and he is very good with this attack. A couple others as well, but this one, he's got it down. And so you see he comes in, he's got the E-Drag, of course. He comes in with his P.E.K.K.A.s. He's guaranteeing the 2. We need the 2, right? So he had to figure out a plan to make sure that we're going to get the 2. And the funnel worked great. I mean, everybody is going in. I think he planned to have the king kind of on the outside to take that other stuff out. So, and at least we did know on this particular base a couple things, because we did, hit it with a 10. So we knew the CC, right. He knew a couple of the other things that were going to happen. So, that was at least able to help him plan. But right when he gets past the town hall here, I was watching it earlier thinking, wow, where are his troops? And then all of a sudden they start fanning out, and I realize how many troops he has left.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the ice columns. The ice columns work so good. I mean, at one point, do you see how it like froze half the base?
Right.
Which just allowed them to go through. So
his jump placement was spot on.
It really was. It was very good on that backside to keep everything together. I'm two-timing, trying to go a little bit faster here, but you see he's got 4. He's got the 4 P.E.K.K.A.s still left. And so right here, it's probably, if you're watching this live, you're thinking, oh my gosh, are they going to be able to get all this stuff, especially like the AD that's still inside? You know, they gotta
just keep your eye on the warden. This is what Will and I were just going crazy over. So we were totally nerding out on this hit. Yeah, just keep your eye on that warden.
He's got a sliver.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The sliver of health just came in and got it. So that's pretty awesome. Nice job with that. So, you know, again, at this point, it puts us in a decent position to have a chance, right?
We definitely have a chance now. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is obviously nonstop action. So that attack isn't even finished before DaTing goes in. So let's go ahead and watch his attack on number 2. Because it looks like 5 minutes left was Bump, and then 2 minutes left with him. So here's number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Oh, nice. He's got drags.
Yeah,
now, drags were super buffed, I believe, on like 300 points or something crazy for Town Hall 12. So they got a little bit of a buff on the other ones, but I think it was quite a bit on Town Hall 12. And if I remember right, they hit us with drags as well on Town Hall 12. With a solid hit. So here he comes in with the 2 E-drags to help funnel. And I had a base kind of similar to this. I mean, it wasn't really the same, but it was, you know, similar. So I was at least putting something up to kind of give him an idea of maybe how something would work. You know, if you have anything even close to the same shape, it helps, right? So he goes right in here. He's great timing for his warden ability. And, you know, the CC's coming out fine, but he's got his, everything is, you know, under the ability still. Comes out, and, you know, right now you're thinking, okay, when is he going to put the bats down? Well, he's patient, right? He's waiting until the multis are down, or at least, you know, some of the rays are going to some of the dragons. So he does a nice job with that. He uses 2 freezes on that top multi. You have to. You got to get your bats through there. And right now it's looking good as I'm watching this. It's like most of the bats are over there, and then they're going to come right behind the wizard tower. And, you know, you can't really do anything about that at the end. He didn't have any more freezes. But as soon as those bats leave, and then the loons get caught in that tornado, oh my gosh, you guys on voice had to be just like, oh no. Are they going to make it?
We were cussing that 3 o'clock barracks right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely the barracks. Doing. But I was cussing just now the tornado and the air bombs, because they took out, you know, a couple things, and then you know, if you're watching this kind of thing live, you're clicking on the troops to see how much health they have left, and just praying that there's not going to be a Sam that comes up and takes everything out. Which, fortunately, a dragon with a sliver and an E-drag race to get that barracks at 3. Dragon's gonna win every time. The A-drag, he's slow as molasses. He is just brutal to watch. Mm-hmm. But nice job. So I can only imagine you guys on voice, and it's just too bad that I had to drop. I think it was with 20 minutes left. It's too bad that I couldn't see that ending, but oh my gosh, awesome finish. And it's a huge win. I mean, you know, it helped to have this win after having that perfect war against us last week. You know, it's tough to come back after that. So I'm proud of everybody for working great together, and for everybody being on voice. I mean, we had champions on voice. You know, Will for sure was on for a while. Sean, you know, obviously you were on. I saw Stef, you were on. We had a bunch of other people throughout the time on. So good job to everybody for that. Next week,
outstanding.
Yeah. You know, we just gotta, we can celebrate for a little while, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, here we go. We got to get some new bases. We got to practice and get ready for next week against Susie's Knights, who is another no joke. I feel like there are some tough clans that we are in with. Tough. We're in a tough division, to be honest. So, you know, it's going to be like this all season. So, Steph, you got any last minute parting words? Any thoughts?
No, I thought it was a pretty good work. Everybody performed pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially at 12. That was nice.
I know, it really was. And, you know, at 11, too, we had a huge improvement. We at least cleared 7. That's pretty good. Chief?
That's right.
What are your thoughts, Chief?
Yep. Especially on the teamwork, so with the voice planning was crucial. A great example is one of our other 11 hits where the voice planning was spectacular. It was great.
Coming up with the best that we could. So, anyway, I think that's it for this time. Yeah, I can't think of much else to say. Until next time. Yeah, thank you guys. Until next time, we will see you for another war recap. Same channel. Like, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Peace.